And welcome to Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd. The Unity in the Community show embraces the city Worcester's diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. And join us on Unity in the Community as someone who's no stranger to the city of Worcester when it comes to fundraising and when it comes to youth development. His name is Larry Schuyler. He is the chairperson of the MLK Golf Tournament that usually takes place every year on behalf of Quinsigamond Community College. Larry Schuyler, welcome to Unity in the Community.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
Thank you. Another year, which means another tournament, which means more fundraising for young people.
Yes. It's like I said, this will be a 26th year. And when I started this with George Gilmore 26 years ago, we had no idea it'll be going on this long.
Yeah. And what role did you play at Quinsigamond Community College and also George Gilmore as well in the very beginning when you came up with this idea? What was taking place?
Well, we were, start from the beginning. There was a scholarship program that started with my mother and Stanley Guttridge, and started with the breakfast with George Smith and Nellie Tony and Phil Nedry. Anyway, make a long story short, my mother and Stanley Guttridge were involved with the scholarships because they sold the Pleasant View Manor at that point in time, which was a nursing home for people of color. And with that money, they gave it a chunk to Clark and a chunk to the breakfast in 1985, if I remember correctly. Anyway, my mother asked me in 1989 to get involved. And I ended up being the chairperson, not because I was elected, but because people stepped back. You know how things work.
Sure. I definitely know how that works.
But anyway.
She gave you an offer that you couldn't refuse.
Well, it's my mother. But anyway, after a while, we figured we have to figure out a way to really raise money, keep things going. And that's where George and I approached Quinsigamond, and they were all for it. And like I said, it's the year 2000. And since 2000, we've given out over $250,000 in scholarships to area high school students.
Congratulations. And since 2000, you're saying there's been a number of presidents that's passed through Quinsigamond College since then.
Oh, yes.
Probably about 3 or 4 since then. It leads up to now to Jaha right now. So
Right.
Congratulations. Thank you for doing that, because our young people need any resource possible to make it so that then they can succeed in whatever they desire going forward. And the funds is always necessary, especially when it comes to education.
Yeah, we give out a minimum of $500 to $1,000, but then we give 2 students and $5,000 for 4 years. One of them is in my mother's name, Stanley Guttridge, because they're the originators of this program, and the other one is Becky Chicoine. This friend of mine approached me if they could have a scholarship in his daughter's honor, who passed away at 35 from cancer. So, and Alex Chicoine, we go back and say, no problem. So between the two of us and the program, every 4 years, we take 2 students and we follow them for 4 years, give them $5,000 every year. They have to maintain a 3.0, but if it's 2.98, we're not going to get that finicky.
Okay. Yeah. Well, congratulations for doing that and making sure that our young people have some type of way of affording an education, because we know education now is really expensive and it's gone off the charts, and young people need anything and everything as much as possible. If someone approached you and said to you that we'd like to do something in honor of a particular family member or friend or an organization, is that possible too as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're wide open. I mean, this is basically to help kids move on into the next journey in life. So if anybody wants to contribute, that's fine. I mean, I have no problem. One point in time, we did have one big donor sponsor. Excuse me. They used to give us $10,000 a year towards the scholarship, but since then, through logistics and everything else, they have been unable to do that. So, as a result, now we're scrambling around to raise as much money as we can. And our goal this year, if possible, we'd like to raise about 20 grand to the golf tournament. It's that way we can give at least 9 students a grand as opposed to $500.
Yeah.
So, but that's our goal, and it's something. It's a goal. They're going to get some kind of money. It's a goal. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just pleased that after all these years, we still get support. I mean, it's like I said, after 26 years, I never thought that we'd have as much support. And we got some T-Host sponsors that have been with us from day one. So.
Well, the thing about it is it's a reputable effort, and it's a very important effort, and it's dear to all of us, especially when it comes to younger people, because we have to play a part somehow, some way. And you came up with this idea. And with this idea, between you and George Gilmore, once again, Larry Schuyler is joining me on Unity and Community. He's the chairperson of the MLK Golf Tournament, where you're raising money with involving QCC as the financial backer in reference to this, or the fiscal agent. And so when you go forward with this, give us an idea for those who are listening who say, something, this is pretty interesting. I think I have a little something on the side. I'd like to give it to somebody, and maybe I'd like to give it to the MLK Golf Tournament. So what's the makeup of the golf tournament? How can people join it? They can do it that way as well. And then we'll talk about how students can get access, or who can apply to receive these funds.
Excuse me. Yeah. Right now, there is a link on the QCC site.
QCC.edu.
Yeah. That has specifically for Martin Luther King tournament, breakfast, everything's right then and there. Excuse me. And this year, the tournament is going to be held Monday, July 27th at Green Hill Golf Course. We were there at one point in time, excuse me, and we went out to a friend of mine on the golf course out in Ocam. So we went out there, but now we're back to Green Hill, and I'm pretty happy to be back at Green Hill because it's more centrally located, and seeing how it's back into what's the connections, I think that we're going to do well. The past couple of years, we've been averaging anywhere from 16 to 18 to 19 teams. And I think that's going to be a little bit more this year because we're at Green Hill.
Yeah. And how do you put these teams together? How do people know about the tournament?
Well, we send them out through email. We send them out through snail mail. There's flyers. I mean, we do a little bit of everything.
So one way it can help you is the fact that you have it's a reputable event, and you have repeaters, and they tell a friend, and then they tell a friend, and they tell a friend. So it's able to help you with your longevity as far as continuing this event. But then again, you may have someone who may not be aware of it, and so they may want to get involved too. So how do they do that?
Well, right now, if you go on a website, you can get a hold of me, but there is like a go on QCC website that gives you where you can make your donations. From a gold sponsor is $2,500, and
well, there are various different levels of sponsorship.
Yep,
and also you made it a situation whereas if you cannot attend to the event, you can also go to qcc.edu.
Right.
You can find the MLK tournament information there,
right,
and say, hey, by the way, if you can't make it, here are some other opportunities for you to contribute to the event. And how can they do that?
Like I said, just go on a QCC website, and all the instructions are right there. And if you want to register a team, that's the same way you do that. Or people have contacted me or contacted George. You know what I mean? But majority of all the logistics is done at QCC through that website. And for an example, this year, the golfing for each player is $175, and we're trying something new this year. Excuse me. We're reaching out to the high school kids and college. So we have contacted, at this point in time, 13 high schools, all the high schools in the city, and the high schools that are basically touching the city. Those are eligible for that.
So you have Worcester and the surrounding towns.
Right. And so what we did was we put it out there and asked them to put a golf team in, and we'll have the winning team will get trophies, and then we want to establish our own Martin Luther King Stanley Cup.
How are you gonna do that?
We already have that now, where the winning team, their name goes onto the cup. Excuse me. And if people want it, they can take it for a year. It's been at the fire. It's been at the Worcester Fire Department. It's been at the Boys Club. It's been at a couple other different areas, and I just pick it up the following year.
So going back to what you said, you're trying something new this year, which means the fact that you generally have adults participating in the event. What made you think of the idea of, like, you know something? There's a number of different high schools, number of different colleges, and they have golf as a sport in that particular educational institution. And you're saying, why don't we just welcome them and they can be a part of it as well?
Exactly.
What came up with that idea?
I came up with that idea this year because last year a couple of kids that we interviewed said they want to help out and all that, and it just planted the seed. And if this thing really takes off, which is, because you can speculate as much as you want, and then there's reality. But in essence, for some reason, if this really takes off, then maybe we'll have a tournament just for the kids. But right now, this is just something that we're trying, because we want to get more of the kids involved. Because right now, when the winners of who are awarded the scholarships, we have them work the golf course to do the par threes and all that, and at the end, they sell a raffle tickets and all that, and then they introduce themselves to the golfers, where they went to high school, where they're going to college, and at that point in time, if we're able to, we give them the check it rate at that point in time. And since we've done that, we have actually increased the amount of people playing.
Well, congratulations, Larry, for doing a noble effort. We're going to come back. We're going to continue this discussion. I have Larry Schuyler. He's the chairperson of the MLK Golf Tournament, which is also the fiscal agent of the Prince Sigmund Community College right here in the city of Worcester. I'm Ernie Floyd, and you listen to Unity in the Community on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hello, my name is Alvin Familia, president of the Manny 267 Foundation, and you are listening to Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester Community Connection.
Unity Radio is streaming at WUTY979fm.org. We'd like to thank our listeners and supporters.
TD Bank, America's most convenient bank. TDBank.com. Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare of Worcester. HarvardPilgrim.org. And Wings Over Worcester. WingsOverWorcester.com.
Unity Radio, Worcester's Community Connection.
Recreation Worcester is a free year-round program for youth run by the City of Worcester. The program enriches this city's youth in athletics, arts, academics, and social-emotional learning activities. Food is provided for free of charge for all youth participating in the program. Learn more at the Worcester Recreation website, www.worcesterma.gov/recreation-worcester. That's www.worcesterma.gov/recreation-worcester.
Everybody's riding. What's up, it's Summer Walker, and this is Switchboard. My name's still a cheat with 2 eyes. Yo, what's poppin'? It's Kendrick Lamar, letting y'all know.
What's good? It's Metro Boomin.
What's up, it's Summer Walker.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Leon Thomas.
Log into Club Unity every Friday and Saturday, 10 to 1 on Unity Radio, 97.9 FM. Let's go.
We got this summertime feel.
Hi, I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show on Unity Radio 97.9. Join me and my guest as we discuss topics on embracing our diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
You're listening to Unity Radio, Worcester's Community Connection.
And once again, this is Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd, the Unity in the Community Show, embrace the city Worcester's diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. And we are talking tournament time, we're talking fundraising time, and we are here to support our young people, and it leads with Larry Schuyler. He's the chairperson of the MLK Golf Tournament, which is held every year at Green Hill Park, and also sponsored by Sigma Community College. They're in there. It's a fiscal agent that supports you. And Larry, you had the idea of incorporating young people in, besides them just, getting the golf balls or holding the bag and being caddy and that nature. You came up with the idea, whereas, there are other golf organizations and clubs involving young people, and why not have them play in it? And that's a nice gesture, and you're going to try it out and see what happens. But then I'm going to add something else to it. How about you have the adults continue what you've been doing previously, have the adults play. And then if you're able, right now, because you're going to bring in the youth to be part of the adults.
Right.
But the other idea was to have the youth by themselves, have a pool of youth. And then, the third leg of this, they would say, is you're going to have the winner of the youth play against the winner of the adults.
Well, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. But like I said, right now, this is speculation and then reality.
Yeah.
We'll see how many of the teams actually show up. I mean, we sent the invitation out there, but like I said, the speculation and the reality. We're having a meeting on July 7th at Quincy. And at that point in time, I'll have a much better idea of what's going on in terms of signing up.
Okay. So you sent out the invitations. You're going to find out who accepted your invitations. Right. And so there's a number of schools out there and a number of different golf programs that youth are playing at these various different schools. And how many schools approximately is that?
We get sent out to 13 high schools.
13 high schools.
And 7 colleges.
Oh, 7 colleges.
Yeah, but now it's 6 because Anna Maria is gone.
Okay. All right then.
But the high school, for example, I was playing golf at Quail Hollow out in Oakham, and there was a high school event going on, and there was the coach from Wachusett High School, and we have given scholarships to Wachusett High School. Anyway, I mentioned it to them. He said he was very, very interested in it. So for me, that was good feedback. You know what I mean? But like I said, this is just initial stages, but we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty successful. That's how you planted the seed last time, back in 2000, when you first started with George Gilmore and Reps starting this whole tournament with golf. Once again, Larry Schuyler is joining me. This is Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd, and Larry Schuyler is the chairperson for the MLK Golf Tournament, which is a vehicle to raise funds for our young people here in the city of Worcester. And so now you have the tournament. You thought of an idea. So the other question is why golf? Why couldn't it have been another sport, would you say?
Because golf is, to me, that's the quote unquote universal sport for any age. For an example, I played golf with, there's a guy right now playing golf. He's 96 years old. I play with my grandson. You know, it's it's not like a baseball or football where you're limited. Golf, to me, is a universal sport for anybody who really wants to, play. And when I worked at Quail Country Club for 12 years, whatever. And one thing I really noticed was the amount of parents and grandparents playing with their kids and all that and having fun. And so golf, basically, we figured with the tournament, it was just to have fun. It was more of a social. Yeah, raising money, yes, but it's all about having fun.
Okay. So with that fun, there was no dispute in reference to any other sport. You just said, you know something, George? We're going to come up with golf. We're going to use that as a vehicle to raise funds for our young people right here in the city of Worcester. And he said, yes, we're on board with that. And since then, it's taken off for the last 25, 26 years.
Right.
Okay. So as we go forward, what do you hope to accomplish with the golf tournament besides raising funds? Is there any other different variables that you want to accomplish with the tournament? Obviously, golf is used as a vehicle to have fun. Is used as a vehicle to bring people together. Now, hopefully, with the invitations going out, the young people will receive it. And so that's something of that nature. But is there anything else that you want to accomplish with the golf besides raising funds for young people?
Well, basically, yeah, raising funds, but also it's an opportunity to bring people together. Yeah, because some of the, he gets some perimeters or some ideas where they think the golf tournament is for people of color and all that, you know what I mean? And it's even some of the applicants come out and ask that. And I say to them, no, this is for everybody, because our mission statement with the golf and me and life is his mission statement. You judge people by the content of the character, not the color of the skin. And that's what golf does. You bring people together, and there's been certain situations out there where people go, wow, I didn't realize this. So basically, my goal is not only to raise money, but to bring people together to have fun. Because that's one way of, rather than getting into a debate about whatever, I think the best way to get your point across is food, cocktails. It's just having fun.
When you put this event together, so let's go to the dichotomy of this, okay? So the idea came up, and then you chose golf, as we just mentioned earlier, as a sport. And then you cast a net out there to get people to join the tournament, and they've been supporting you. And then now you want to push into the young people and see if we can start a rage with the young people as far as the golf schools or departments that are in these various different schools. And then we haven't talked about, you alluded to it a little bit with the cocktails and the food. What's an event like once it's all said and done, everyone's golfed, everyone goes into the dining room or goes into the hall, and it's time to celebrate? And what is actually taking place there?
Well, like I said, we celebrate, and people, like I said, they do the raffle prizes, but the biggest thing is the students introducing themselves to the golfers. Because now they see the diversity, they see where the money's going, and there are people who have come up to me over the years and said, this is the best tournament they've ever played in, and they've been in it from day one. So makes me humble to think that people really, really enjoy that. And I know a couple of people right now, as soon as the mail goes out, the team's in like 24 hours later.
Yeah, okay. So some of these people who experience maybe the Pan Am or the Pebbles Beach or the Georgia National, and they say, no, that's nothing compared to Green Hill Park.
Oh, you got a point there.
Okay. So the festivities is pretty fun. So everyone likes the festivities. You go in after a long day of golf. And how many holes is it basically?
18.
18 holes of golf. And they go in, and then everyone looks forward to what's some of the different ways people can give at the table when it's time to auction off the prizes. And what are some of the prizes have been, and how do you encourage other people to donate this year to make that list even larger when it comes to donations?
Well, we take anything out from dinner reservations. one point in time, there was someone donated a week on the Cape, things like that. A lot of it is basically like gift certificates, golf lessons, golf balls, and some people are like quality beverages. It's giving out golf bags and clubs. It's a variety of things.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And what we do is, we charge X amount of dollars and put your tickets in. But actually we don't. We use the MLK Stanley Cup trophy. We put all the raffle tickets in there, and then we pull them out. And whoever wins, we bring it over there. They pull it out. So it's not just, it's try to get everybody involved.
Right. So once again, it's the tournament. This is Larry Schuyler joining me on Unity in the Community, Ernie Floyd. And Larry is the chairperson of the MLK tournament. It's held every year. And one of the other exciting moments too, outside the tournament, is what you were going to allude to, is the MLK breakfast. Okay, cannot go without the MLK breakfast. That's every year. Unfortunately, it may be in inclement weather when it's time for the breakfast. It's nothing like the weather's nothing like the breakfast when it comes to the golf tournament. So you have two different extremes right there.
Right.
The golf tournament, obviously, in nice warmy weather, sun is shining, blue skies. The MLK breakfast sometimes happen to sometimes appear on the days that is record temperatures and zero below for some reason, and it seems as though the weather just waits for that particular day. It either is raining or sleeting or snowing. I'm not trying to discourage people from going. People still show up anyways, and it's the first thing that Saturday morning. And as of last several years, it's going to be held at the Floyd Gymnasium on the campus of Assumption University.
Correct.
And so this year's going into next year is not going to be any different. And so when they have the opportunity, how do you feel when you have the tournament, and not only have the tournament, but when you time for the other end of the season and it's time to be at the breakfast and you have your table and you have some of the people who've golfed in the tournament and it's time to present the scholarships and then you read them out, and how do you feel when it's time to give away that money and recognize those young people?
Well, they get that money prior to that. And a lot of times at the breakfast, the kids are away at school. So we announce them at the breakfast. But if anybody's in town, they're more than welcome to, be recognized. But they're at schools, you know what I mean? So, but in order for them to get the money, segue into that, there's an application process, and we look at. There's a committee of four of us. We look at them. Excuse me, and we look at not only grades. We look at people who are involved in community, things like that, and there's one particular student this year. She just blew everybody away because she was very, very active in the community, in the science thing. She was taking 5 AP courses. So she was an automatic.
There you go. So when we come back, we're going to discuss how young people could be eligible. And we're going to talk about, you've been doing this for a while. You said since 2000. I have to imagine you must have some success stories from some of the people that you give out scholarship money to. And some may have gotten back in contact with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity to assist them in their education.
Right.
It's been a long time, so I'm pretty sure they're adults now and they're working, and due to your efforts, that's where they are, and hopefully they're successful. So when we come back, we're going to continue this discussion with Larry Schuyler. He's the chairperson of QCC Breakfast, MLK Breakfast Golf Tournament. And I'm Ernie Floyd, and you listen to Unity in the Community on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hey, this is Ricky Duran, and you're listening to Unity Radio, 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Q, host of the Woo 508, and I'm here with
your girl Liza, Miss Consistency.
And it's your girl Chantel in the building.
Yes, y'all. Go ahead and follow us everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, The Woo 508. That's THEWOO 508. Woo!
Tell me a skin, roll me a phone, step into the groove, now you in the zone.
Kiva Centers is a leader in peer-led support, recovery, and mental health services, creating spaces where individuals can explore healing, rediscover hope, and embrace the fullness of who they are.
Starting in Worcester, reaching all across Massachusetts, and extending to Las Cruces, New Mexico, Kiva Centers is lighting the path forward through connection, community, and recovery. Learn more at kivacenters.org. That is KIVA Centers.
Hi, I'm Storm, and I'm a part of the Bruce Wells Scholars Upward Bound program. The Upward Bound program is a program that helps many promising low-income, first-generation, college-bound Worcester High School students. After joining this program, I've learned many different and important life skills while making new connections and getting real-world experiences through internships and classes. If you're interested in any of these opportunities, you can find more information at www.sevenhills.org or 617-866-1293. That's www.sevenhills.org or 617-866-1293. A brighter future begins with you.
Tune into the Sustained Life with Susan Hewlett. And together, we will find our way to a healthier, healing lifestyle by listening to empowering stories of overcoming our struggles. Join me, Susan Hewlett, on the Sustained Life every Wednesday from 5 to 6 on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. See you soon.
Let's talk, Worcester. Unity 97.9.
And once again, welcome back to Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd. The Unity in the Community show embraces the city versus diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. And Larry Schuyler is joining us. He is the chairperson of the MLK Golf Classic, which is a fiscal sponsor of Prince Sigmund Community College. And this golf tournament has been able to be used as a vehicle to raise funds to support the young people here in the city of Worcester as they have, when they decide to go forward in life and when it comes to college. And this money assists them. And you thought of this back in 2000, along with George Gilmore. And at one time, the scholarship information, you said you would blanket out throughout central Massachusetts.
Right.
You had a lot of entries.
Right.
And then after a while, you say, you know something, there's a lot of entries here, and there's not as much money to really, and it made a difficult decision to, and there were a lot of good entries that were in, and a lot of worthy entries that were in. And so you felt kind of bad in a sense and say, okay, we're getting beyond ourselves. Let's see if we can just bring it into a little closer in. And then you decided to go Worcester.
Right.
And then with Worcester, you included the schools of Abbey Kelly. You said Worcester Tech, North South, Doherty, and Burncoat. Little smaller numbers, which is more manageable. And so on an average now, you'll say, unless there's another school.
Well, you've got the surrounding towns.
Surrounding towns.
Surrounding towns.
So on an average, the entries coming in now are what would you say?
We've had as little as 10, and we had many as 20, 25. And lately, we've been interviewing just about everyone who sends an application, because we may not get as many applications, but the applications we've been getting, it's we interview everybody because the applications have been that good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think this past year, I think the lowest SAT was like 1,500 or something. So the kids are really really good. And at one point in time, we weren't giving any money to kids who had full scholarships. Excuse me. And then we got to thinking, why penalize someone who's worked the keister off? You know, so we gave them at least $500 or $1,000. They can go out and buy books, something like that. But, you know, but it just didn't make initially, you know, that was one of the requirements of the application that if someone had not a requirement, but if someone had a full boat, they didn't receive any money. But we changed that because, like I said, why penalize someone who works the keister off to do something like that? You know.
Well, I'm glad that they made that decision because of the fact that it's almost like penalizing somebody for being successful.
Exactly.
And how do you penalize somebody, especially a young person?
Exactly.
You're always trying to encourage them to do their best, and you're sending mixed messages.
Exactly.
So after that's said and done, so let's go through the schedule, if you will. So you have the tournament.
Yeah.
And when is the tournament?
Tournament is July 27th again. It's on a Monday.
And the location?
It's at Green Hill. It'll be shotgun at 9 o'clock. And like I said, then we have the buffet and everything afterwards. But like I said, it's the tournament itself. When we were getting the big money, the tournament was more of a social thing. But now, since that money has gone away, now it's become a fundraiser. So, but the bottom line is, we have not lost the atmosphere of making it fun. Because to me, like I said, that's what it's all about. It's all about having fun.
Yeah, you continue to do that. But the tournament takes place on July
27th.
July 27th is a Monday, as you mentioned earlier. Shotgun at
Green Hill.
At Green Hill, and it's at 8 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9
9 o'clock shotgun.
So we'll say the tournament is done. And then going forward, when do you start sending out the entries, or the entries are already sent out? The invitations are already sent out in reference to having youth send in their application?
Oh, no, that doesn't happen till the following year. Like the year, we send out information and at the breakfast. That's when it goes out to the schools and all that. And then we pick the winners. This year it was in May. And then once they actually register at their school, that's when the money goes to them. They have to be registered.
Okay. So we'll say 2025 MLK breakfast takes place. And then that's the time we send the word out.
Yeah.
And then the following year, which is actually 2026,
yeah.
Then the information gets back because you're playing on the school year of to be in time for the kids to apply for school and then be able to have the money in hand as they go off to school.
Correct.
That's the nature of the schedule.
Correct.
And then after that, you have the tournament, and then you get ready to raise more money. And have you had record years of raising money by any means? So you allow yourself to send as many kids off as possible and give away as much money as possible?
Yeah, we have at one point in time when we had to be a little bit more, I don't know, at a loss of way. You know, we had a lot of applications, but we picked out maybe 4, 5, or 6 out of them, and then we gave them like $2,000 a piece and all that, because it was a very big division in the applicants' qualifications. But that being said, but lately, like I said, despite the fact of getting smaller numbers, the quality and of the application and the kids is, I mean, the past 3 years we have given money to everybody who has applied.
Yep. And who's on the team? And when it comes to evaluation of the entries,
It was myself, and I have a couple of ex-school teachers. One was Jimmy Roach, another one is Brenda Helleberg, and bringing up there, as you don't know, it was Yvonne Harrison.
Yvonne, of course. Yeah. So when you're able to send out the invitations and the applicants receive it, and then they send their work in, and then when they are selected, and then you call them and say, hey, by the way, you've won. What are some of the reactions that you experience when some of the recipients have been awarded the funds?
Very thankful. Very, very thankful. And like I said, and we, after with the applications, we have a Zoom meeting so that we see the individual behind the application. And we have a series of questions we ask, and they can ask us anything they want. And that's when you really find out the true character of the person. And excuse me, the past couple of years, I've been really, really impressed with the applicants that have been coming through. I mean, they are so focused. Some of them are so community based, but it's been really easy. I'll tell you one quick story. Years ago, I was not feeling well, and I was home. I'm not going to mention any names at this point in time, but anyway, we sent out the applications. I get one in, and we're calling this individual to come in for an interview. And for some strange reason, she calls me like about 10:30 on a Sunday night, and I'm going, huh? So I said, what the heck? I gave her an interview, and Ernie, she just blew me away. I couldn't believe it. And part of the problem was what's going on in today's environment. Parents was working up TJ Maxx, and they had their green cards, and they thought that this was some kind of a fraud or whatever. And then the daughter, no, it's not. So anyway, I gave her the interview. She ends up going to Worcester Polytech in biomedical engineering. And her first year there, her QPA was 4.0.
Oh, it's amazing what a donation can do, huh?
She just blew me away. Oh my God. And at that point in time, my wife was working at Worcester Polytech. So we followed her, and oh my God. I mean, how many freshmen are going to be mentoring people?
Yeah. It just shows the importance in reference to what the tournament can do, and also what it can appear to as well. Because when it appearing in a sense that how these individuals may not get that extra supplemental income from somewhere else, or that award money from somewhere else, but then they hear about this tournament and they contact you and they say, okay, and they're putting themselves out there and they're presenting themselves, because usually young people are not as forceful and really shy and don't want to present themselves. Like, forget it, I'll borrow it from my mom or my dad or a friend, or I'll go to work or something like that, versus taking the time to fill out an application and just potentially, because it causes for them to be in front of you. Exactly. And they have to present themselves. Exactly. And some of them, it seems as though lately, they don't have no problem doing that. Hey, I need that money. I'm going to go up there, I'm going to sell Larry Schuyler, and he's going to give it to me with hook by crook. And how are the parents receiving as well? When the parents, I've been at the breakfast a number of different times, and sometimes some of the people are there and with their parents. What's the reaction from some of the parents?
Parents are very grateful. In fact, I was working at the food pantry, AMZ Zion, a couple of Fridays ago, and one of the students that we followed for 4 years, the mother came up to me, and she was just so thankful, So, and give you another story about the students that stick out. There's one student, and when he got into Quincy, whatever, his first semester, he took math and flunked. Second semester, A.
He made business because of the fact that he knows that if he doesn't succeed, he's not going to get that money, like that too. So once again, Larry Schuyler is joining us here on Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd, and he is the chairperson of the MLK Breakfast when it comes to the QCC tournament. I'm putting it backwards, I'm putting it all over the place, but actually the MLK tournament for the golf tournament, and you're raising funds for the young people here in the city of Worcester. And you have some great stories and some success stories for those young people, and the parents are really grateful too as well. So once again, Larry Schuyler is joining me, and I'm Ernie Floyd, and this is Unity in the Community on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Unity Radio.
It's picking around. We discovered a love that had never been found.
Worcester, we've got you.
Activa la Radio y Unity Radio 97.9 FM te invitan a escuchar el bloque latino todos los sábados de 7 de la mañana hasta la 1 de la tarde por los 97.9 FM en la ciudad de Worcester.
Everybody's here. Everybody's right. What's up, it's Summer Walker, and this is Chris Warner. My name's still Chief with 2 eyes. It was popping, it's Kendrick Lamar, letting y'all know.
What's good? It's Metro Boomin.
What's up, it's Summer Walker.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Leon Thomas. Log into Club Unity every Friday and Saturday, 10 to 1 on Unity Radio, 97.9 FM. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show on Unity Radio 97.9. Join me and my guest as we discuss topics on embracing our diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hello, I'm Pastor Sharon Henderson of Covenant St. Andrew's United Methodist Church, 24 Hamilton Street, Worcester, Mass. We welcome you to worship with us every Sunday at 10 a.m. Let's worship together and love one another. I'm Sharon Henderson, pastor of Covenant St. Andrew's United Methodist Church, 24 Hamilton Street. We welcome you to worship with us at 10 a.m. every Sunday. Let's do it together and let's make peace.
This is Unity Radio 97.9 Worcester.
This is Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd. The Unity in the Community Show embraces the city versus diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. And joining me now is Larry Schuyler. He is the chairperson of the MLK Golf Tournament with the fiscal sponsor of Quinsigamond Community College. Go to qcc.edu for more information if you want to be a part of the MLK Golf Tournament. He does a great job. It's been going on since 2000, and he's one and hopes that the tournament continues on further into the future. And besides the golf tournament and giving yourself, because it takes a lot to do that, whereas you have to plan the golf tournament, and then you also have to prepare the applications, send out the applications to the contestants or the candidates.
Yeah.
You have to wait for them to accept them and send them back their information and their proposals, so you have to review them. And then you have the chance to pick out the ones that you believe that are deserving. They all are, but you have to have some finalists. You read them, and then at the same time, part of the prerequisite is you have to see you. You have to see them, right? And so if you're selected and you go, well, I'm not available, you can say, well, okay, we're going to move on to the next person. We have to get visibility. We have to see you in person, and most of them show up. So that's been your effort for a number of different years, but it doesn't just stop right there. You have this Building Bridges program, and you also have an opportunity to go to Belmont Amy Zion Church, but we're going to start with the Building Bridges program. Tell us about that.
All right. Excuse me. The Building Bridges program, they came at the direct result of All Saints had a ministry cooking at the vet shelter. Excuse me. And with the pandemic, everything broke down. And so at that point in time, I decided that we'll start rehabbing the kitchen at All Saints Church. And we're in the final stages of that. But in the meantime, there was a ministry with the Western Diocese called Building Bridges. I approached them, and I am now what they call, quote unquote, in their organization, a champion. Not necessarily a covert, I'm the champion, because I started this. And we had our first luncheon the day after Veterans Day in November. And since then, it's been the second Tuesday of the month at All Saints Church. And we've had it catered, people it's just been a real community effort. And I'm so you know, when you really stop and think about it, I get a little bit emotional because of the things that I'm doing, and so people are so grateful. You know, I mean, it's like I said, I'm just trying to bring people together. You know, because there's so much division going on right now. I'm trying my best to be the opposite. And as veterans, we invite all veterans. We don't care if they're homeless, male, it doesn't matter. We invite all veterans. And at this point in time, we're in a growing stage.
Yeah. And so you perform this service and you decided to put it out there, and the people have been showing up.
Yeah.
And I presume the food must be pretty good because they keep coming back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a core that comes back every Wednesday, and we hope to expand, but we all know Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oh, not at all. And then you all prepare the food.
Right.
And you serve it as well.
Right.
And for some reason or another, you've been able to get the support. And so you're able to manage it and just walk around, supervise, and you don't have to cook anymore due to the fact that other people have stepped up and they are cooking for you.
Yeah. Yeah. But the
Congratulations.
Yeah. You know, I am going to, when we officially open up in September, I'll be doing the cooking.
Okay.
But this Building Bridges program started in 2015 with Bishop Fisher of the Western Diocese and Father Carlisle. And Bishop Fisher was a chaplain at West Point, and he wanted to do something for the vets. So they had their first luncheon, and one vet showed up. Now we have served over 100 and some odd thousand. So it has grown.
Yeah, word has gotten out there as well.
Word is getting out there.
Whether it's male, whether it's female, doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter your age. You're there to feed the people, and they're very grateful of the meal that you come in. So you don't stop there again. So it's the third leg of your donations, of your heart giving and expanding, is you go to Belmont Amy Zion Church over the opposite side of University Park, which is in the main south area.
Yeah.
And so you have the food pantry over there. Tell us about that.
Yeah. I manage people come in and all that, but it's they feed anywhere from 300 to 400, 500 families every single Friday. And again, we see the same people coming in, and so many of them are so thankful. They thank me as they go out the door. But this was like Reverend Talley and his entourage. They're the ones who put it on. I'm just a helper.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
It's a huge task to feed about 300, 400, 500 people coming there, and hopefully they're behaving themselves in the line, because sometimes some people may get a little not patient at all, a little irrational. But you keep the order, and plus you have Chuck Jackson there to help out. He's dedicated, a former police officer. But at the same time, everyone's going to get a meal. Someone's going to get something. Yeah, right. And then in the end, all you see is nothing but smiles.
Exactly. But you're right. Sometimes people do get frustrated waiting and all that. But sometimes it's just the way it is.
Yeah, it all goes away when they get inside there.
And there were a couple of guys I was joking with them, and they were waiting in line, and people were getting a little. I said, you know something? I'm sorry, but in today's environment, I have to take orders from a woman. Can you imagine today's environment, a man taking orders from a woman? So she's telling what to do, people. So just show respect. A couple of people were laughing.
Exactly. The thing about it is, it's an also time too, is maybe you can have a team outside just to have conversations with everybody, so that then as the conversations are taking place, time passes by a little bit quicker. And then before you know it, they're inside eating. Because if they're standing out there aimlessly, and maybe they know somebody, or maybe they might not know somebody, and they're just standing there, and just keep them occupied. So maybe send some people out just to pray to them, and just to have conversation with them, and just get to know them.
Well, it's basically like a grocery store. I mean, they go in and they grab food. They don't eat there. It's they come in. They come in, and it's like a grocery store, and
they get to pick out the food themselves.
Yeah.
There's a variety of food, dry goods that's there then.
Right, and there's like there's like anywhere from around 35 to 40 volunteers,
Mm.
you know, and it's very, excuse me, humbling to see so many people with food insecurity. But, you know, again, just trying to bring people together and make them feel good. And because let's face it, there's so much division and negativity go out there in today's environment. I try to, you know, bring people together and put a smile on their face because that's just the way I am.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, and we salute you, and the community salutes you on behalf of the community, and us here at Unity Radio. We really appreciate you because we need somebody that needs to go out there and you're helping the young people. Just give them a hand up in reference to assisting them in their finances, and I'm pretty sure you have a lot more success stories over the years because you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
And be amazed on how a number of these people are adults and what they're doing out there right now with their degrees and how they're leading some type of profession out there. And they call you once in a while and they say, hey, by the way, Larry Schuyler, we really appreciate you in reference to the MLK tournament. And it's a simple golf tournament. You have a golf tournament, you have some fun. You at the end of the tournament, you get to go inside, you have some food, and you get the chance to meet with some people, have some fun there as well, have some discussion, win some prizes, and then the funds go to a needy and worthy young person who has answered the call and ran through the entry forms and had to present themselves and sell it to you. And you say, okay. And then you continue on once again with the Bridle and Bridges. You cook, you donate the food there for the veterans. And then after that, you're off to Amy Zion Church. And you're over there giving away the dry goods and making sure everyone's smiling. And so we call you Larry Feelgood Schuyler. And you're dubbed that.
Well, at this point in time, I'm going back to work to get some time off.
There you go. Larry Schuyler is joining me. He's the chairperson of the MLK Golf Tournament that takes place every year, and it's been at Green Hill Golf Tournament. For more information, go to qcc.edu, and you'll see more information how you can contribute and be involved in raising funds for a needy person and send them off to college. And thank you, Larry Schuyler, for joining me and sharing your story, and continue to success with all those other contestants.
Can I just say one more thing?
Sure.
Building bridges, okay? Before we go into it, we have the national anthem. So one day I get notice that my grandnephew, Mellow Green, is doing the Star Spangled Banner, that onesie, at the Red Sox game. So I taped it and all that. So I've been playing it since. But the irony of it all is, you know, God works in mysterious ways. That Friday, Chuck and I are going up to All Saints Church in South Hadley because the Western Diocese is having a dinner for all the champions, or because there's 17 different locations. Make a long story short, I sit down with Father Carlisle and said, hey, this is what's going to be singing at the national anthem at All Saints from here on in. His daughter looks at it and goes, hey, I was there at that game. That's your grandnephew?
Small world, isn't it?
Mellow Green.
Mellow Green. MG. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that story. Once again, Larry Schuyler, Mr. Feelgood out there, and he is the chairperson for the MLK Golf Tournament. Once again, qcc.edu. Once again, Ernie Floyd, Unity in the Community on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.